What's up, guys? In the works, and yes, today we are taking a look at another LMG. And a lot of you guys wanted to see me, spice things up a little bit, get a little bit more unique with some of the weapons we use, and take a look at some of the lesser used LMGs like the 240 Bravo, which, when they jumbled around with one of the patches, they really kind of messed with the LMGs the most, at least in my eyes, because before the patch, the best of breed weapon, at least to me, was the PKP. The PKP was the LMG of choice for me. It had the nice balance of being a heavy hitter. At the same time, it had nice flat recoil, even though the initial recoil was pretty heavy. So the PKP was just an absolute monster before they went in and patched everything. But now everything is all jumbled about, and the PKP, the M60, and the 240 Bravo now are a 3-bullet kill up close, where before it was only one of those guys, but now they all do the same damage. All the 7.62 shooting LMGs have the possibility of being a 3-bullet kill. But with that came some increased recoil to the max. The recoil on these bad boys are much more pronounced now. And that's where things got a little bit tricky. You had the PKP, you had the M60, and they both filled their voids well. They both did the job well. Well, the 240 Bravo shot much faster, but it seemed outclassed because it seemed to have more recoil than all the rest of them. Well, now they all pretty much have the same recoil. They all have really pronounced upward initial recoil, but then after that, they kind of flatten out. But the 240 Bravo, in my eyes, has gotten the biggest edge in that department because the 240 Bravo shoots much faster than the other ones. Well, not much faster, but it is faster. So you got the M60, which shoots 580 rounds per minute. You've then got the PKP, which shoots 600 rounds per minute. Follow that up with the 240 Bravo, which shoots 650 rounds per minute, and they all do the same damage. They all have comparable recoil. So you're looking at this, you're like, maybe I should start using the 240 Bravo, and I really think you should, because the 240 Bravo, at least in my eyes, and the heavy-hitting belt feds, definitely is the best now. Now, this is coming from somebody who, before the patch, during the beta, all throughout Battlefield 3, before that first spring patch, the PKP was my LMG of choice. I loved it. That's all I used was the PKP if I wanted to use something that was a more heavy hitter. Same with the 249, I was a big fan of that, but those all got nerfed. So I've been kind of struggling to find that LMG to lean on. I think the 249 is still pretty good. I mean, it's still up there being one of the best LMGs, but now I really do think that if you're going for one that does more damage, that one of the 7.62 LMGs, we'll just call it that, I really do think the 240 Bravo is now the best in that department because that 50 rounds per minute more it has over the PKP is pretty important, at least in the close quarter scenarios. And the thing about it being good in close quarters is it does do more damage. It doesn't shoot the fastest. And a lot of people will look at this and say, well, you're going to get outgunned by the M16, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm sure the M16's time to kill is much faster than the 240 Bravo. But the thing is if you get those headshot multipliers, if you get, lucky on a lot of these, you can compete with the assault rifles. Just because it does do more damage, you do have the potential to get a kill in one less bullet than, say, an M16, an AK-74M, any of those assault rifles that tend to get on your nerves. Now, granted, you're going to have some problems when you go up against things like the MP7, the AEK, stuff like that. Those are going to be a pain in your butt. But if you play the LMG role right, the 240 Bravo can be your bestest friend in close quarters because it does get the job done a little bit better, at least in my eyes, than the other two 7.62 LMGs. Now, the 249 is also a pretty good choice in close quarters, but I really do just enjoy using this. I know a lot of people might like to try the QB LMG. Is it the QBB? That one is pretty good because it is a bullpup, so it does get a hipfire bonus, which hipfire in close quarters, I'm sure you guys all have learned by this point because how long has it been out? It's been out for almost a month now on PS3. Hipfire is pretty important, and I think you learn that quite quickly when you pop in the close quarters. So having the QB's bonus as far as hipfire is pretty important. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of you guys lean towards that if you're looking for a good close quarters LMG. But I think my close quarters LMG definitely goes to the 240 Bravo. I enjoy using it now. I've been trying to spice things up, and I've been experimenting with things. Most times I do use the bipod. In those situations do I ever find myself, man, I really wish I had a foregrip instead of a bipod. Just because the foregrip is good if you know that you're not going to bipod down. And I'm using the foregrip here because I'm 100%, just running around trying to kill people. I have no intentions of ever stopping to the point of putting the bipod down. Now, if you're playing the LMGs like they're meant to be played, you will always run the bipod. And I think that a lot of people tend to forget how important the bipod can be, and there's no situation where I've ever wanted the foregrip over the bipod unless you're playing like you see me playing here. So I'm not really too worried about the aim fire penalty that you do get from the foregrip because the LMGs are already super inaccurate. The fact that you have a lot of ammo is kind of what makes up for that, so I just kind of, you'll see me spray a lot, and I mean, that's just the nature of an LMG. I mean, they're made to suppress people, they're made to keep people down in corners, they're made to waste a lot of ammo. So basically, waste your government some money and shoot lots of rounds because that's what they're there for, and this is a video game, so shooting rounds isn't really going to matter in the long run. But 240 Bravo, try it out. It's got a lot of recoil, but it does have some potential to be one of the best LMGs in close quarters.